Alright guys, had to take a long break. Turns out this is like a 1-inch hole. I didn't have a 1-inch hole saw or a 1-inch spade bit or anything else that was 1 inch that would cut a hole. You could probably use a spade bit, but the spade bit's gonna chew a non-circular hole. It's really meant to tear through stuff really quickly, not necessarily cleanly. So yeah, it might do okay on the plastic, I don't know, but just bought the hole saw. So yeah, maybe I'll scoot you guys back. Yeah. So I want to make sure that any of the flanges or nuts are away from this rounded corner so it sits flush so I can actually tighten it. And I'm gonna check for height too. All right, I think that's pretty good. I'm just gonna mark where the center is, and then I'm gonna mark a rough vertical. Make sure it's not up too high. That's probably good. Mark the center. And then I'm gonna need 2 of these things, just to make sure they're not each other's way. Make sure I can turn those nuts. All right. So X marks the spot. Yep, you don't want this one too far down because it's gonna be on a radius as well, and this still needs to sit flat, so. Alrighty. All right, be right back. All right, just trimming off a little flashing that always results. All right, guys. Maybe I'll do this, show you guys really quick. So the rubber gasket to seal this needs to go on the outside. And friction's just holding it on this side. Cranked it down pretty good. All right, so I'm going to install this the other way, just 180 degrees around. Maybe I'll switch this one around too. Just makes it easier to, on the inside, to do it and undo it. Plug it in, unplug it. Yeah, let me, I'll just leave that one as is. All right, so those are installed. Okay, so I'm at the point where I think I can do the Coax bulkhead connector. So there's kind of two ways of doing this. There's two different kinds of connectors. One has usually like a female on each side, and then there's another one that has a female on one side and a crimp connection on the other. In fact, I got this backwards. So you can see those red things, those are the gaskets, and usually this is going into a metal box, and in between the gasket and the star washer would be the metal of the box. So the old box has this style, and you know, if you're not going to touch it after you put together, this is probably the way to go. But to remove that coax cable from the box, you have to take this whole connector out. There's no way to, once you crimp the coax onto that, there's no getting the coax apart from this. So really for like super permanent installations, I'm going to try this, where it's female on the inside and outside. These are 5/8 holes that you got to drill to get these things, you know, to fit through with clearance. So a couple options. Again, you can go with set of spade bits, a set of like kind of like auger bits. I guess these are called tri-flute bit sets, and I guess you can get a 5/8 just straight bit. So I think the smaller step bit stops at a 1/2 inch. Yeah, 1/2 inch. And then right there is the 5/8 for the larger step bit. Again, with the step bit, the plastic's just a little bit thicker than the 1/8 inch these are designed to cut through, so you have to like go in one side and then go through the other. For some reason I couldn't find my auger bits, and then I did. Found the 5/8 and I tried it on a block of wood, and this thing's dull as you can believe. Turns out this is the bit I was using to install bolts into my oak fence, and yeah, it's done. So went out and bought another set. Not sure I'm going to use it on this. I really hesitate to use the speed bits because they tend to tear a non-uniform circular hole. So might probably end up doing the step bit to do this hole for the Coax bulkhead connector. But now I've got a fresh set of bits that don't know where all my speed bits went, my spade bits. I think they're in a box in storage somewhere. But anyway, they're probably old and beat up too, so now I got a fresh set for projects when I need them. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and use this. And you got to remember that the ram mount X holder, whatever they call it, it's going to kind of end up straddling this air vent. So I want to put the coax bulkhead connector a little bit further towards the corner of the box, and I'm going to put it up on the high side. All right, so I think you guys can see, and I think I'm going to kind of put it between these two gussets or ribs right about there. That looks good. This thing goes through warm butter. It's like a knife through warm butter. So you want to stop before it gets out of control and figure out what step you're at, what hole size you're at. So I need to go 1, 2 more, and that should be the 5/8. So let me just verify. All right. So I'm going to open this up. And I'm going to hit it from the other side. Okay. All right, so longer side goes through the bulkhead. The other way to remember is the red gasket needs to sit against the box. Yeah, it's got to be this way. You want the gasket on the outside of the box. There we go. So it fits nice and it's not loose at all. Doesn't catch on the threads. So, yeah. Oops, I think I'm getting it across there. There we go. So in the old box, I had this braid on one of the screws to make sure the chassis of the radio is grounded to the back plane. And that should guarantee that the shield part of the coax is also maybe not grounded, bonded. So with RF, you want all your metal bits bonded together, or weird things can happen when you're when the frequency is higher than 0, which means once you get away from DC into AC, you really want to, especially at radio frequencies, all the metal bits should be bonded. So what I might do is I've got some, I think I got some thicker, well, I mean wider stuff. I might just redo this so that this metal braid is bonded to this, and then bond it to bond it to the back plane. That way everything is as good as can be RF wise. But I'm just going to leave that there for right now because I got to go digging for this stuff. Yep. All right, so I'm just going to make sure that's a little bit tight. When it's installed for good, I will tighten it with a wrench or a pair of pliers. What I'll do is install a nice cap, weather cap for it, and I'll install a small stainless machine screw, to anchor this to the Pelican case. But for right now, just to protect the threads, I am going to just put it on without the anchor. I'll show you guys. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll just install a little stainless machine screw, probably like a 3mm, and just it'll just hold it there, and I can take the cap off and not lose it. Like these are secured to the housing, the chain. So, or since this is such an easy kill, I might do that right now. I got to go dig out the 3 and 4mm hardware first. All right. So that hole is right around 4mm. I put a 4mm machine screw into it, and it mostly fits. maybe it's a little tight, but it'll go through. And I don't have metric drill bits. This is an 11/64, which is just larger than 4 mil. If you really wanted to, you go up to 3/16, and you wouldn't notice the difference. I might actually have to go up to 3/16, depending on how this goes. So yeah, I'm just gonna maybe put this up here. Yeah, so and then I'm gonna check that hole. Oh yeah, really good. Let's see all that. Just making sure I got a long enough screw bolt. I mean, and that it's actually not too long. Yeah, I'll probably have to go to the longer screw. I'll move you guys so you can see this in a second. Just seeing if a washer fits. Yep, washer fits. So stick it through. Let me move you around, guys. Get you zoomed in a little bit. So I'll get that. And I'm just going to check it. That some threads are sticking up from the top, and they are. And I will. This is a nylock. Alright, sorry guys. Looking for some pliers and a screwdriver. And yeah. If I had better tool storage, I would have whipped out the appropriate size wrench instead of a pair of channel locks. It's easier for me to go digging for a pair of channel locks. Alright. Almost there. Yep. Alright. I'll get you in a little bit closer. See how you got like 2 or 3 threads sticking up? That's what you want. Alright, so yeah, that's what it looks like. Yep. I guess when we go to crimp the coax to make some of the cables, I will explain why I've chosen Type N connectors instead of the old UHF connectors. So the females, the SO239, and the males, the PL259. And yes, they are called UHF connectors, but they don't work so well on UHF. I mean, they do, but there's problems. And we'll get into why that is. Like I said, we make the coax cable, the Type N and the like SMA, like all the modern connectors. Yeah, that goes back to World War II and before. Yeah, all the modern connectors are good up to like at least 2 gigahertz, maybe 4 gigahertz. The SMA stuff's, some of that stuff's good up to 5 or 6, I think. So anyway, more later. It's getting late. I want to relax. See you at the next step.